When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hey guys, welcome to the Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton, and as always, we have a great show for you. It's week 11 in the NFL, and there's so much news to unpack because Thanksgiving is around the corner. But more importantly, the Pro Football Hall of Fame will be announcing the semifinalists for this year's modern era 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. And joining me today, he has a list of titles. And I really want to talk to him about some of the guys that's on this 129 modern era nominees, because I know he played against some of these guys and he coached them and watched them coming up. But not only is he the inventor of the Lambeau Leap, but he's also from the class of 2022. He's a Super Bowl 31 champion, and he is a part of the Packers 2007 Hall of Fame class. Please welcome the All-American at Florida State University, the oop-de-oop, the loop-de-loop, my main man, no other than LeRoy Butler is joining us right here on The Mission. How you doing, sir?
Man, you know I love talking to you. It's like being in the barbershop. That's
yes.
why I love it. I love it.
Well, I love your backdrop. Man. I'm seeing the city of Milwaukee. You know, there's a lot going on. It looks like the city of Cleveland right now, too, because we getting some weather. Mother,
we
setting to set in.
We're starting to get the snow, the wind, the rain, and it snows in Green Bay off and on until like January. But we just got back from Florida, where it was really nice, sunshine. Got back late last night. My kids are like, it's 38 degrees. And that's the high. That's the high. The low is like 22. But we're used to it in Wisconsin.
Hey, LeRoy, man, you've been back to Canton numerous times. You was here for the best football day ever and among some other events. What's it like, man, when you come back to Canton, now that you're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and making your visits, you know, talking with the kids and, you know, touching the bright minds of America today? What's it been like, man?
Well, I always feel wanted and loved in Canton, and it's really a family atmosphere. Not to mention, I always visit the store, and you just want to buy everything. You do, Jameer. I mean, this symbol means a lot. I mean, as you're talking about the semifinalists, because you're going to be doing interviews with some guy next year, and when you come to Canton, you can just feel the energy of the fan base of the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's when all teams come together to be celebrated. And I did a watch party for when the Packers played the Lions, and that blew my mind. I didn't know this kind of stuff was like this. So I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm having fun. My whole life, Jameer, is a vacation. I've had the same smile on my face when I was African-American, braces on my legs, and in the inner city, poverty, because I knew how my life was going to end. So I just enjoy it. When you come down and it says, welcome to Canton, you get goosebumps. Because you can see how people like, this is what football heaven is really like. So, and all the volunteers and all the workers, they're just awesome people.
Well, this Thursday night, more flowers are going to be given out to you and, of course, your lovely wife, your better half. You will be receiving your K Jewelers Ring of Excellence. I would say the third and final kind of notch on your belt that makes up a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I like to say there's 4 elements. You know, yes, you got the bronze bust, you got the gold jacket, and you're about to get the K Jewelers Ring of Excellence. But if it wasn't for that career and the support that you had around you that made LeRoy, we wouldn't be cheering. And you're getting that ring this coming Thursday. What would that mean to you? What would it mean to your wife to get that pennant?
That's why I tell people that you're the best interviewer They don't, either they're either jealous or don't believe me in the building. But that's such a great question because at my party, at my Hall of Fame party, I had some of my teammates there.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought they were just going to come, drink, eat, go home. But I brought them up. I put the spotlight on them. I said, without these guys, there is no LeRoy Butler. So it's amazing that you say that because I'm going to have more of my teammates on Thursday to come with me and having Jim Porter anywhere in the state of Wisconsin is platinum. I mean, he's such an amazing young man, him and Sarah, his wife, his kids. I mean, he don't even act like, most guys, they're a big shot, they act like it, okay? You know about it. Jim is about the players. How can we grow the brand? And when I knew he was coming, I got excited because without my teammates, that's why football to me is the ultimate team sport. It's an ultimate sport because you need 10 guys to help you win a Super Bowl. And not to mention, real quick, you got to get guys from 21 to 35 to get on the same page. That's hard. That's hard to do. So when that happens, I'm going to think about my teammates, some who are with me and some who are not. I just appreciate them. Here's my chance to thank them to a huge audience on Amazon Prime.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. Yeah. And your wife receiving the Hall of Fame Kay Jewelers pennant. Mm-hmm. That's just that is so sweet. That is so well deserved. It's respect, man. It's honor. Mm-hmm. It's honor. Because once again, without her, there's no you. Without you, there's no her. And people.
And I love that about the Hall, though. I love that about the Hall because you have widows who husbands may pass away. We love them. We want them to come. We want them to come to these events, because if somebody passes away, your wife and family should still be there to honor you. So my message to all the widows out there, we love and respect you. You're still in our family. So to give anything, not just for me, to my wife, man, that's amazing because I'm so happy for her because she wasn't really a football fan. Right. This is all new to her, Jameer. So that's why it's almost like it's like Christmas when you get the one present that you want. Because I don't know anything about this gift, but it's amazing. You can kind of, for the wives who husbands are first ballot, they already kind of know.
Right,
or the wives who are football fans, who went to all the games, they kind of know. But my wife, she wasn't, we met after my career. She was a banker, and I'm just going in there to do a transaction. She went through a divorce, so did I, and we just kind of connected. And we've been together since like 2008, and we've been married for like 4 years. So when I see her get that pendant, I'm actually tear up because I know as a little young girl, she's probably thinking these things are not possible, but yes, they are. Yeah, they are possible. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, man, before we talk some shop, I want to talk your shop. I love your backdrop, but I didn't know if you got a chance to peep out my backdrop. 1990 second round, 48th selection overall.
I see that.
Let's take a trip down memory lane, man. Let's really, let's dive into those numbers and what they mean to you, and getting that notification that you're about to go to the next level.
I'll tell you what, full disclosure, this, but for everybody else that's on the Mission podcast, I want you guys to know I grew up a Cowboys fan. And when the Cowboys lost, I would cry. I was a huge Tony Dorsett fan. When I saw him, I couldn't move. That's 33. And then when I saw Roger Staubach in Miami, I was like, wow. I mean, he's got Tom Landry. So I'm thinking they're going to draft me. And obviously it didn't happen. But when the Packers called me, it changed my life
Mm.
on a lot of scales. But you don't think African American in projects is going to have a draft party? There was no internet to Google that. I mean, but most guys that come from poverty and these areas, uh, you don't normally hear about it a lot because they're thinking people don't want to know that. But no, people want to know where you grew up. So 1990 changed my life because I got a rotary phone, these long cords on the wall. It's all staticky, and sometimes it would hang you up. And I was telling I have anxiety real bad. I said, Mom, if somebody calls and they hang up, they're not gonna draft me. She said, trust me, God will make sure it won't hang up. And she was right. She was right.
That's awesome. All right, man. Let's talk about your Green Bay Packers. It's as I mentioned, it's week 11 in the NFL.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Thursday night, you guys got a primetime matchup against
Yep.
the Tennessee Titans. Before we dive into that game, I want to go back to week 9 and week 10. Week 9 against the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you, LeRoy. I felt some kind of way because the GOAT, I call him the GOAT. He's on my team. He's on my fantasy football team. And I was just really hurt for Aaron Rodgers. But if you could, just leading from that game, week 9 and heading into week 10 against a tough, strong Dallas Cowboys team, you pull out a victory. So I guess my question to you is, looking at week 9, that disappointment, but then week 10 brings, hard work and determination on top of the fact that you're going against your former head coach and some of those coaches that you know near and dear. You were able to pull out that victory against the Dallas Cowboys team, but it prepares you for this primetime matchup against the Tennessee Titans. And that one Titan who sits there in the back, who totes that rock, Derrick Henry, we know the load that he brings. Your take.
Right. I tell kids all the time, football is hard to explain. How can you lose to the worst team in the league, the Lions, and beat one of the best teams in the league, the Cowboys? And it's what Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers, I'm a big fan of his because his communication skills are amazing. But how do you, because this is new territory. For the last 3 years, as you know, 13 wins, 13 wins, 13 wins, number 1 seed, 2 seed, whatever, you're going to playoff. Winning is contagious, but so is losing. So you lose 5 straight, and Aaron Rodgers don't play the game that we're used to. And he's struggling with the young receivers, getting chemistry. The running game is still there. And then the offensive line, the morale was low. But, and even in the Cowboy game, there was some ebbs and flows. But the thing about Aaron Rodgers, and this guy ain't quitting.
Right.
He's going to just play and let everything else work itself out. Case in point, two examples of that. When Christian Watson, number 9, drops the second pass, you're like, he's going to blow up at it. But he didn't. Encourage him. They're giving you one high safety, man-to-man, no help. Expect the ball. I'm going deep. It's just like Randy Moss with Randall Cunningham and Culpepper. If you got one-on-one, we're throwing it deep.
Throwing it deep.
Yeah, expect it. I don't care what the route is. If I tell you it's a slant, but if you got a guy in the middle safety, they rotating over, and I look at you, we're throwing it deep. Be expected. He could have had 5 touchdowns. But the good thing about the communication, on fourth down, they wanted to throw it, miscommunication. Rodgers, Matt LaFleur had this, whatever they said, and you're thinking they're coming apart. But you got to keep coaching.
Right.
Let that go. Keep coaching. That's how they won the game. Had he kept engaging with Rodgers, Rodgers engaging with him, and they're going through it, cameras watching, you're losing the game and you're losing the fight.
Right. Right.
Let's get to the war. The war is the playoffs. We got to get through these fights first.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is key. It's everything. That's how you beat Dallas.
Mm.
Everybody, and could have beat Buffalo, to be honest with you.
Right.
But the messaging is, okay, now, everybody in the NFC, Jameer, they're coming back to the pack. Philly just lost to the Commanders. Who would have thought that at home?
Right. Right.
Tampa Bay, I mean, they're struggling, but they needed to beat Seattle. The Rams, I don't know what they're doing. We could say the same thing about the Packers.
Right.
You're still in this thing. So that's the message. We got to win 2 in a row. So we got 10 days of rest. So the Titans game, which you pointed out, that defense, they play for keeps. Okay. Mm-hmm. They hit before the whistle, during the whistle, and after. And let the chips fall where they may. And they're going to run the football. You got to stop Derrick Henry and force him to throw the ball and beat you.
Right.
And that's how you win.
You mentioned communication is the key, and I totally agree with you. And I want to really ask you, is it intimidating for these young receivers when you look at Devontae Adams exiting the Packers and going to the Las Vegas Raiders? And that was a big component, in the passing game that's missing. And you still have the load of Jones in the backfield. However, when you look at these young receivers, is there an intimidation factor when you're dealing with the greats of like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, if you will?
I'll give you, that's a great question. Think about this. One of my best friends, Chris Carter, one of my best friends in the world, who in my opinion, has the best hands in the world.
Right.
There's nobody.
And he does that thing with his hands. The
guy's amazing. He's never dropped a pass that I've seen. The guy that gives you the most heartburn and really, you can just say it, that scares you is Randy Moss.
Right.
He scares everybody. But the GOAT to me is Jerry Rice. When Jerry Rice was a rookie, playing with Joe Montana, it was tough. Mississippi Valley State, I maybe dropped a slant here or there, but I turned out to be the greatest of all time. So when you playing with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, it can be intimidating. Right. 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. What's expected of me? Am I supposed to hang out with him outside the building? No, we work together, but we don't have to play together, but we work together. All you got to do is catch it. I'll do the rest. If you drop one, because it may be, that's part of the game.
Right.
Just don't drop it on Sunday. You can drop a pass, just not on Sunday.
That's right.
So it's almost a tough love you need for receivers because those are the divas of the world because they want all the smoke. Throw me all the ball.
Right.
I'll do that, but you got to catch it. And that's why I think Christian Watson, somebody, because he's a second-round pick, and he knew everybody wanted him to get a wide receiver. Everybody. Go get a drafted receiver. They did it in the second round. The next day, he was our first pick. The guy's 6'4", 6'5", 4.3 speed, everything you want on paper. We just got to get him down the field and catch it. It can be a little intimidating when you go in that meeting room and Aaron Rodgers. What's he thinking? I already dropped it. What's he thinking? I'm on concussion protocol again. What's he thinking? And all Aaron, just catch it. Don't worry about nothing. Just catch it. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about, let me worry about all those problems. All you got to do is catch it, and we're good.
Well, I can't wait to see, a competitor like that, Aaron Rodgers. He's just one of the greats of the game that, you hate to see that. It's like you want. Listen, I know they're not the heroes of the game because the real heroes are the ones that run into a burning house and save families, and the one that police and protect, and the one that's overseas toting that M16, taking care of us that we just celebrated last week for Veterans Day, and salute to all the veterans. I got my Veterans Day. I see you. I see you. Those are the heroes that allow us to sleep at night. But when we look at a childhood game and we look at the greats that play this game, Aaron Rodgers is one of those dudes that name rings bells, as you mentioned, in the barbershop. And we just like to see our greats do good. So I can't wait to see those guys turn it around.
The reason why I like Aaron Rodgers is because he don't care. That's why I be one. He don't care what you think, man. That's why he's one of my favorite players. A person, he ain't living life for you or nobody else. Do your thing, man.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right.
And we support you. That's why Brett was one of the best teammates. Reggie White was one of the best teammates. Antonio Freeman is like my brother. Gilbert Brown, I talk to him almost every day. We just keep it 100 and about your teammates.
That's right.
Whether outside people can't really see it, they just see an interview and that's it.
Right.
But we know the person outside. This man be giving millions of dollars. Aaron Rodgers gives millions of dollars to charity. He don't post it. He don't tell nobody. He probably don't even like me telling it because he don't do it for that reason.
Right.
He don't. So he's the right guy to lead a team when they're 13-3 and when they may be 3-13.
Got you.
Because he's gonna hold himself and you accountable. Just because he doesn't rip himself in the media, don't mean he ain't holding himself accountable. Because there's mirrors in every bathroom, whether somebody in there with you or not, and whether you admit it or not. And my mom used to say the mirror in the medicine cabinet shows your torso, but the one in the other outside the room shows the full body length. That's the one you look at. It shows all your imperfections and perfection. It keeps you 100 with your teammates.
Facts. Our next segment is brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Visit profootballhof.com to book your trip to Canton today. All right, LeRoy.
And
as
go
you
to the
know,
store. Go to the Hall of Fame store.
Oh, well,
please.
that
get my
segment,
stuff.
that segment is the hot seat. We're gonna put you on the hot seat here shortly, but that segment is brought to you by the Hall of Fame store. I like that. Okay. I like that piece that you did too. I like that piece that you did. That was cool. That was cool.
Funny, yeah.
But as I mentioned earlier, during my monologue, the Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced the 129 modern era nominees for this year's class of 2023. There are 19 defensive backs that make up the 129. LeRoy, we can't name all 19, and I don't know if you had time to really look at the list, but I just want to throw some names at you and to get your take on these men and their contribution to the game of football. I want to start with Darrelle Revis.
Branding. Put your athletics aside. Put that to the side because everybody is a great player in pro. But branding rise. The number one branding, your brand, the number one guy is Deion Sanders. Okay. He's the GOAT for branding. Revis is too. Because the Revis Island thing rings off in the club when you play that record. It rings. That's my record. Players like that get voters' attention because he did what Deion did. 50% of this field, you better not throw it over here. Matter of fact, I dare you. Matter of fact, I'm a double dare you. Remember double dare you back on the old days? Revis, that's why the brand of who you are as a player is important. And the guys, we used to call guys like that 50%. Because they got 50% of the field. Y'all, the other 10 guys, y'all get that 50. Just me. As long as you don't hear you like Gilligan, you can't never leave. The guy's amazing, man. And he's a great person, so that helps. Yeah.
Rondé Barber.
Hey, man, listen, now you're going to make me cry. That's one of my favorite players. For a lot of reasons, he's one of my favorites. Me, him, Brian Dawkins, Troy Polamalu, Atwater. Rondé Barber did it all, man. Sacks, interception. He had great hands. My hands were terrible. It was great. He'd tackle you. He had a great smile. He'll definitely be in the Hall of Fame. care when it will be. I'm hope. Matter of fact, for him, I'm glad I got in because I didn't want voters to hold him back because of me.
Mm.
But yeah, he definitely will get in. His brother Tiki is one of my best friends in the world. So stat wise, Rondé Barber has it all, and he does it because I like because he's not a big guy. He's not a big guy. He's not a real big guy. So all this height, weight stuff they tell you about, you got to be this, that. No, you just got to be Rondé Barber. The guy's a special player, and he's a special human being too.
Darren Woodson.
That's my guy. The fundamentals. We used to call him. Me and Dion gave him the name, the big fundamental, at the Pro Bowl. He's great leverage. He's in the right spot. He ain't taking no chances like me. He does it the way coaches are like, oh, this is the dream player to coach. It's on cruise control. I love that guy, man. And playing, 3 or 4. It seemed like he played in every Super Bowl with the 90s. But yeah, I'll be very happy when he gets in the Hall of Fame because he's kind of that last guy that they're pushing in that era of great safeties in the 90s that need to eventually get in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, him and Rondé. Because these safeties, I hold them a little close to my heart. And I used to go up to him and say, man, I wish my hips can be low like yours. You can turn. And then, the guy was just everything you want. If you're a coach and a player, Darren Woodson is your guy, man. The guy was a truly amazing player.
And lastly on this list of 19, and we'll definitely show the graphic of all the guys because we want to give all the guys their respect, Asante Samuels.
Again, he could be a 50% guy too, because this guy has the heart of somebody going to Lions Den. If he believes he see it, he gone. Sometimes I say, no, that's not the right route. He sees he's going. You got to believe in your skills. He believes in his skills. Okay, I didn't really believe in because I didn't have the speed, the cat quick ability that he has. Yeah. But if he saw it, he would believe it. Almost like Charles would. I would compare him to the instincts of Charles. If Seawood see it, he's going to get it. I'm thinking, no, it may be an out and up. It may be a stop and go. I'm going to be a little conservative. Samuels, he going for it. And he got him too. And had great hands as well.
Next week, LeRoy, I'm going to get a chance to hopefully talk to Mr. Jared Bell, who is not only one of the 49 selectors, but he is also the 2022 Bill Nunn Award winner for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, to help us break it all down and to put it in its proper perspective, because basically that list goes from 129 to 25, and then in January it goes to 15, and that's the 15 that's nominated on. And as you know, Super Bowl weekend, that Thursday at the NFL Honors, the class is announced. And if you didn't know, the coach contributor finalist for this year is Mr. Don Coryell, former head coach. So and the senior players is Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko, and Ken Riley. All these gentlemen.
Riley. Ken Riley. FAMU's own Ken Riley. Yeah. I love Ken Riley. Yep. He's the GOAT anywhere in the state of Florida, but Jacksonville, Tampa, it don't matter, man. Ken Riley. Yeah. Oh boy. Jameer, you hit me with that one.
Yeah. And this year's class could potentially be nine Hall of Famers. These finalists have to receive at least 80% of approval to be in. And if they get that nod, it's going to be a nice. It could be shaped out to be a nice class. So I can't wait.
The culture gonna love Ken Riley if he gets in. It's going to be great for the culture.
Yeah. But there it is. Hey, man, before I put you on the hot seat, I want to talk about one of your programs, Butler vs. Bullying, and how people can involve. But if you can tell us how people can get involved, but if you could tell us about this program and how effective this program has been.
Thank you so much for asking that, because I want people to know my story. Matter of fact, I'm doing a documentary on my story. We have a press conference tomorrow at Lambeau Field. And when you see this documentary and know that how I was bullied from wearing hand-me-downs to being in poverty or just being small or being a special needs kid or being in special education. Kids were horrible to me, but I always had the same smile because I knew how my life was going to end. I was going to do something great. But that story made me say, you know what, I got to let kids know. Because sometimes when I go talk to kids, Jameer, they see the jersey, the Hall of Fame. Oh, this guy was born in a mansion. He didn't wear holes in his shoes like me. Sometimes I didn't have shoes. Okay. Because kids, they thought it was funny. I go to school and they took my school shoes was pretty beat up. They looked like they were talking. They threw them away as a joke. So I'm walking around fourth grade with no shoes, and my teacher was like, "Well, where's your shoes?" I said, "I don't know. I put them because you had to take them off. We do the little jumping thing. You take your shoes off."
Right.
And they, as a joke, the kids do this. So I'm walking around school with no shoes on, and I'm thinking these are the stories with Butler versus bullying. I teach them how to deal with it. I just ignored it. I go to school. They laugh and I shoot. I just kept moving. I put my blinders on, like my grandmother say, that God gave everybody this talent. I said, "What's my talent, Grandma?" She said, "You have a great talent. You can ignore anything negative. And you just keep going. You just keep." And then the kids all of a sudden say, "You know what? This bullying thing is weird because it's not even affecting him.
Right.
He's not upset. He's not crying. He's not trying to fight us. He's ignoring us." So it just stopped.
Right.
That's what I tell kids. How do you deal? And I came up from poverty, single family. My mom went through a divorce, checked all those boxes. No money. I mean, my first soda that I drank was at Florida State. That was at 18 years. I mean, most kids get that all the time. I wasn't going to fast food. We eat like the pork with the can with the pig on it from the government, food stamps, stuff like that. So I told them how, kids with money would bully us, and then after a while, they don't even know they're in the anti-bullying speech because I'm telling my story. And then I wrap it up like this, Jameer. I tell them, here's the difference, because it is a fine line between having fun and joking and bullying. So I give them examples. My uncle is a Bears fan. Okay, he's been a Bears fan since he met Walter Payton. And of course, I'm a Packer fan. He texts me stuff like, "Oh, you guys are going to lose the rest of your games." And I text him back, "Hey, but you can't spell Eberflus, your head coach's name." We just having fun.
Right.
We love each other. But if 3 or 4 students consciously say, "We want to make this young lady's life miserable for our pleasure," we don't need that.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. It's boring and it's lame. That's why Butler versus bullying is. And this year I'm going to talk to 37 schools. And I actually came to Canton and talked to one of the schools in Canton.
Yeah.
I appreciate Jim and the guys, bringing Hayden and Michelle. They all got together. I told them what I wanted to do, and they put it together like that. That's why I love the hall, man. Whatever you want to do, they help you. And I love talking to kids. I got to find, which I did with the United Way, when we came together to find the next LeRoy Butler with childhood poverty. We're going to try to get rid of it as quick as possible.
Well, our job is to honor the greats of the game, preserve your history, promote your values, and celebrate excellence together. And that's our job. And we all take it serious, dead serious. That's our mission.
I appreciate that.
We're mission driven. And I mean, because at the end of the day, without you guys, without the 300 plus men in that bronze bust gallery next to me, this is your logo. This is your logo. We're here to maintain and manage it for the time that we have our jobs. And, that's one thing that we're blessed and honored to do. And people say, "What do you do every day?" I'm like, well, I prepare to talk to a Hall of Famer each week. And as we're approaching Thanksgiving, I'm so thankful for that job. Each week, I get a chance to talk shop with the greats of the game. That's no braggadocious. That's just like, you talk about tear, get emotional. like to keep it real, like, wow, that's a blessing. And that's a
It
blessing
is,
we
it is,
all
it is.
don't take. We don't take that lightly. But if people want to get involved with bullying,
Yeah.
with the Butler versus bullying,
Yeah.
where would they find the information?
Just go to my website, LeRoyButlerInc.com. All the information is up there. It's what we talk about, what we try to encourage. And my book, LeRoy Butler's Story from Wheelchair Lambeau Elite, we purchase those. You can buy books for students, and I deliver it to them or mail it to them. We do it for Christmas. We buy, I think this year we're going to send out 2,500 books to kids all over the United States. And I love that they don't even know who I am. Because when they read that book, they will Google me. Just the guy that went in the Hall of Fame. He's going through some of the things. He had anxiety, so do I. He was in special education, so am I. Next thing you know, they come out of it. And we want them to be born a butterfly. Don't wait to be, no, come on out and be, because you got to figure out what you're good at, but you can't because of all the negative stuff.
That's right.
So once you feel good about what you are, you read that book, it'll help you. So you just go to LeRoyButlerInc.com.
You know, it's sad, LeRoy, just to add to that, hurt people. And
that's true.
It's true. Like what you're teaching is love, because you're teaching self-awareness. You're teaching love. So if the person, like how you did, you killed it with love. It's like, wait a minute, you made the lame cats feel straight lame because you wasn't fazed by it, because you were secure. You were who you are. So in essence, you're teaching security for somebody who's feeling insecure. But in the same token, with that, it's a lesson to the bully, the person who's doing that. It's like, bro, you need a hug? You need some love? You need love. Let's build. Let's talk. Let's hug this out.
We got a lot. Actually, we have a lot in common.
That's right. All right. Well, it's time to put you on the hot seat, LeRoy. This is brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame store. Visit ProFootballHof.com, and when you put in the code MISSION, MISSION, you will receive a 25% off of your purchase. All right, these are one-word answers, or you can go on for 2 or 3 seconds. But let's jump into it. In today's game, what defense would you want to play in?
A 3-4 defense.
A 3-4 defense, and what team would that be? Any
what team?
Any 3-4 defense?
Anybody running 3-4 defense, I'm your guy. I love that defense. Absolutely love it.
And who plays in the 3-4 defense in today's game that would attract you to that unit?
Pittsburgh, Packers, San Francisco has a version of it. Oh boy. It's the Rams, Buffalo. They play this 3-4, but they put a guy down in the dirt, look like a 4-3. It confuses people. They're like, is that a 4-3 or 3-4? That's what I like. I like to confuse people. So yeah, those type of defenses, the way they roll the safety up in the box, yeah, I'm your guy for that.
And I hate to do this, but for some fans that may not know the difference between a 3-4 defense opposed to a 4-3 defense, could you break that down for us, sir?
I would love to. Basically, you see 3 down linemen, you see 4 guys kind of walking around like they're lost, but they're not. And then you can see the safeties rotate to the strength of the offense. And when the ball snaps, they all go back to in quarters, but up front, you have 3 guys rushing, and you have 4 linebackers, and you have 1 linebacker just screaming off the weak side. So you just gotta confuse the quarterback. Like, which linebacker's coming? Like Pat Swilling or Ricky Jackson. Like, who's coming this time? And by the time they figure it out, a guy like J.J. Watt hits you in the mouth.
Or a guy like LeRoy Butler just picks it off for a pick 6.
Exactly. I just love the 3-4 defense. It's always been one of my favorites. And teams that run it, I get very, very excited.
With that, what quarterback would you have wanted to pick off during your career that you didn't get a chance to pick off?
Joe Montana, man. I would put that ball up over my bed if I could have picked off Joe. If it was a pick 6, I probably would have
I'm
retiring. Because this would never happen. The guy never throws picks. But Joe Montana, boy. And I remember my rookie year, we played them. And I was the third cornerback. And so I said to myself, if I got to go in and cover Jerry Rice, I'm glad I have on yellow pants because I'm going to be very nervous. But I said, man, if I take Joe Montana off, this can make my career. But never happened. But yeah, Joe Montana.
I got to ask you, how many times did you pick Brett Favre off in practice?
Like 3 or 4 times. The ones that I caught, I dropped most of them because they were coming so fast. I mean, he's like, whoa.
Gunslinger.
Yeah, a couple of tips, but he was forced it in there. But you see guys with tapes on their hands trying to catch it. And I remember one day I had a catcher's mitt, like a catcher from baseball, a catcher's mitt. And I just came out to practice with my regular glove and a catcher's mitt. They said, what are you doing? I said, this to help me catch Brett's ball. Man, they were laughing so hard. It was funny.
Sierra Mist, 7-Up, or Sprite?
Oh, child, please, Sprite. I didn't even know those other companies you named. They shouldn't even make those. Those taste like Alka-Seltzer. Sprite, platinum. Ooh.
Which fast food restaurant has the best French fries and burgers?
Wendy's.
Wendy's has the best burgers?
Yes.
And the best French fries?
Yes. It come out hot and fresh. It don't even see a light. You know that light stuff they do?
Yeah.
No. Fresh. Hot and fresh. Love Wendy's.
And lastly, which superhero would you want to be and why?
Wakanda forever, man. I mean, I would love to be Wakanda. See, Black Panther. What? He has a fire suit. And then all my sisters will be helping me fight. Is that what? Then when Chadwick Boseman put on that suit, and it can like deflect bullets, he can fly and jump everywhere, man. I wish I could have met him, man.
Vibranium, man. That vibranium is real.
Man,
real.
Listen, just the technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would Black Panther too, and I would love the V shape of Black Panther too. I mean, superhero. I gotta have.
Plus, I would love to be able to kind of go on the mothership, if you will, and talk to the ancestors, and to be able to those that had transcended on to go back and like at least get those words of wisdom to know that they're watching over us. To have that is high. That is high.
Yeah, help me. What am I doing wrong? Why? And you get the knowledge and go back down. So yeah, I would love to be Black Panther. Ryan Coogler, as the director, if he makes another one, put me in an extra. Come on. Yeah. We've seen it 3 times already.
But there it is, LeRoy Butler. We're gonna push you forward to be one of the extras in the next Black Panther movie. We on that.
I'll do it for free.
We're on that. We're on that. Well, LeRoy, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And hey, man, good luck this week on getting that ring, man. Real talk. Let it out. Cry, man. You know what I'm saying? All the diamonds. Diamonds are a man's best friend, too.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure talking to you. It's one of my favorite shows, the Mission Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.